What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
Of course I'm incontinent. Why would I leave North America?
You are watching Generation Exile.
So was it back to Trump's speech? So it was a big nothing burger. Was he trying to set conditions for his Save America Act?
I think it was more nefarious.
How much voter fraud?
I think it was more nefarious because the very next day you had Mark Wayne Mullen, the senator who's now his DNI, I think, or DHS. Sorry, DHS. He was now laying out what he is demanding, which is we're going to arrest election officials if they don't hand over their voting logs. We're going to send, forces to the problematic states. This is all just a setup for the midterms so that they could claim, I told you the Chinese tried to interfere. Now we're calling a state of emergency, and he's going to fuck with the midterms is the headline from this. And he can't hide this shit.
Yeah.
So he gave us like a babbling, 30-minute dissertation on all of his greatest hits of conspiracy in order to set up his enablers to now enact their, midterm plan, which is we know we're going to lose. We're getting like the worst approval ratings ever. No one likes the Iran war. So if we don't do something about the midterms, my next 2 years, everything's going to get reversed. I'm going to get impeached. We're going to go back to, the woke liberal blah, blah, blah of yesteryear.
Exactly what happened the first time.
Yeah.
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 It happens like a Democrat gets in, 2 years later, they vote in a shit ton of Republicans to take over the Congress and nothing gets done. So it's always
if you're paying attention, it's hard not to notice the attempted takeover that's taking place. And it's scary as shit. This shouldn't be happening. This is, very unfair. This is not how democracy has ever worked in this country.
Yeah. It's happening in broad daylight.
We talked about before. It's competitive authoritarianism.
Yeah.
The incumbent power is not supposed to use all the levers of government for political purposes to keep himself in power. But Trump does.
Yeah.
He found levers that nobody ever thought of using. And this guy, Todd Blanche, who's going to be the new
AG.
What was it? Yeah, Tom Tillis was like, no, I'm not going to vote for you unless you sit with the Epstein victims. Right. And I heard that was like a very nominal sit down.
He didn't respect them. He didn't listen to them. He was a dick. That's what they said.
And
I didn't know that he met with them. What happened?
He met with some Epstein victims as a result of Tom Tillis, stonewalling his appointment.
Yeah, that I had heard.
And so he met
the Stonewall.
And then after the meeting, the Epstein victims were like, "Yeah, that doesn't count. That guy's a dick. He didn't listen to us. He was evasive. He didn't have answers to our questions.
He was patronizing.
Because they're asking questions like, "Hey, what happened to the investigation of this guy that fucking raped me?" And he's not answering that.
Right.
So does that mean Tillis is in and he's gonna get
I think you can count on him getting appointed. I don't think the math is in the favor of stopping it. Listen, time and time again, Republicans in office have just let Trump steamroll his shit across. That's how we got into this situation in the first place. Even the guys like Mitch McConnell, may his memory be a blessing, they let Trump have the power, and now, even if they disagreed with him, they said, well, it's the lesser of two evils. It'd be more evil to have Hillary as president, or it'd be more evil to have AOC in Congress. Or...
Kamala would have started World War III, so let's be grateful she's not in power.
Right.
By the way, I think Mitch McConnell is dead.
He's definitely dead.
I mean, what do you? I know you did a whole bit on the AI,
the photo,
the potential for that photo to be AI. What about there have been multiple senators and Congress people, yes, all Republicans, saying they talked to Mitch McConnell. They talked to him for 20 minutes, and it is
Scott
alarmingly
Jennings was
similar.
the most popular, the
reportings.
CNN pundit who's like a Republican. He's the one.
Are they lying? Are they just fucking making that up?
Either he had an AI conversation with like a chat agent like Dave is creating for us, or he is lying just whole cloth. Why wouldn't they? They need Mitch McConnell, I think, until August, to be alive, to avoid the appointment of a senator to his position that could tip the balance of power in the Senate. So they're weekend at Bernieing that McConnell fella, and Mitch McConnell would have been supportive of this, right?
He probably came up with this before he died.
This is his
He
last.
probably had a plan.
This isn't a will.
Yeah.
This is how you keep me in the game. No, and it's so, it's just so fucked because he single-handedly prevented, maybe not single-handedly, but prevented Obama from nominating a Supreme Court justice.
Right, that killed Roe v. Wade, essentially. Right?
Yeah. And then reversed course when it was Trump's term.
Impeachment.
With Yep. That guy is, he's a tortoise.
And Lindsey Graham died.
He's a fucking evil tortoise. Yes, we didn't talk about Lindsey Graham.
Who saw that coming?
What? No one, not even Lindsey. But I don't think he was poisoned by Russians in Ukraine. I don't think there was any foul play. I never bought into that.
No, I'm just glad he got to go to Disneyland not too long ago
right?
to get that princess bubble wand that he bought. Like, I feel like he went out happy.
Yeah. I saw like a lot of people coming out of the woodwork saying they had sex with Lindsey Graham, and all were like, sex workers.
Well, there was a sex worker years ago. Yeah, there was a male sex worker years ago. I want to say 10, 15 years ago who was making allegations.
Yes.
That he never named Lindsey Graham, but he made it pretty obvious that it was Lindsey Graham. So
no one was really surprised by that story, yet Lindsey must have been very worried that the repercussions of that coming out would have ended him. So he smartly played his cards right. He stayed in power till his very end, and now even his sister is in power.
I was gonna say, like, how does his sister getting his Senate seat make any sense?
That's like some Game of Thrones shit right there.
Yeah. Oh, is it all just because Trump said that?
No.
Is everybody just following his lead?
Every state has.
Anyone else have that idea?
I think every state has different rules as to how, like, the senators and Congress people get replaced. I think in this case, it's the governor just gets to appoint.
Yeah.
And, I think you can't have Lindsey Graham rubber stamping Trump. Let's get his sister to rubber stamp Trump because, she'll just be like, she just got a raise. She's making $174,000 a year now. She's got health benefits. Tell me what to vote yes for, sir.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem like as bad as a Kash Patel in terms of qualifications for the job. It seems like maybe she has some qualifications that might
hold
be
on
relevant.
a second. Kash Patel is a podcaster, so I don't want to hear you.
Yeah, what disqualifies him?
Yeah.
Bill Pulte felt pretty disqualified. Speaking of, that's the DNI guy who was previously the Fannie Mae insurance guy. With no intelligence clearance.
And if he could politicize a mortgage, imagine what he could do with real intelligence.
Pulte sounds like an agricultural term for a chicken. I got 1,000 head of Pulte at my place.
It does sound like that. Yeah, well, this...
Yeah, it does sound like shorthand.
You get your Todd Blanche as your AG, Bill Pulte as your DNI, and Kash Patel as your FBI agent. And you can pretty much guarantee that the only crimes that will be solved will be who has offended Trump for the next, however many.
Don't
years.
forget Mark Wayne at DHS.
Mark Wayne. Yeah. What a stupid name, by the way.
Oh, and
how is that a first name, Mark Wayne? What Southern hillbilly fucking
bullshit like John Thomas.
I hate that.
Don't come to me with that name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's quite a lineup of assholes.
Yeah. I mean, this is Trump continuing to find the right tumble of the lock so he can crack the safe open and destroy all the safeguards and checks and balances that are designed to keep us safe, happy, and
You have
healthy.
the senator running in Georgia, whose son-in-law is a neo-Nazi white supremacist. You hear about this one? Here's something
No.
funny. Republicans, when they found out that Graham Plattner, was his name Graham? Yeah. When
Yeah.
they found out he had a Nazi tattoo, they used that as like fodder for like weeks, if not months, to say, "Oh, you're always so anti-Nazi, but you don't mind this guy. He has a Nazi tattoo, right?" But then
Right.
they get like a representative whose son-in-law is an actual neo-Nazi who's been part of his campaign, who's doing campaign ads. It's not just some distant relative, and that like, oh no, we don't. That's nothing. That's nothing. It's like it's something.
Which guy is this?
His name is Mike Collins. He's a Republican from Georgia, who's in the Congress and is running for the Senate.
I got you.
But his son-in-law, David Allen Shear, it's not the black comedian from Living Color.
I was gonna say that sounds a lot like David Allen Greer.
Not him. Trust me, it's not. That is a neo-Nazi, and that is problematic. So I guess Republicans, in their continuing sort of hypocrisy over, my guy's bad, your guy's bad, they don't care if the person's a Nazi. They just care if you said you hate Nazis and your guy has some Nazi contact. Now, I should say, when I found out that guy had a Nazi tattoo, I was against Graham Plattner. I didn't give a shit about what he was saying. That was enough for me. So I like to be the guy that says, I call balls and strikes. If you have any relations to a Nazi, whether it's a tattoo or a son-in-law, you're done for me. That's just my policy. Because the Holocaust is a pretty fucked up thing, and if you're still like in the spirit of it, you're fucking weird, and you need to go, and not go to the Capitol. So
I think it's totally fair and reasonable to feel that way, even when you're not Jewish.
Yes.
I think the Nazis are an absolute hate
Yeah.
group, and yeah, I'm not Jewish, but I still know they're despicable
they
and
killed
vile.
quite a bit of non-Jews
And
too, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did.
Right.
They sure
What
did.
was the casualties minus the 6 million Jews from World War II of the Allied side?
It was another 6 million.
Yeah.
Well,
The
no.
Russians-
The Holocaust itself was a total of 12 million people were exterminated. 6 million of them were Jews. The rest were a mix of like blacks, gays,
Gypsies.
Roma.
Sorry,
I'll have
sorry,
you know.
Roma.
Yeah, and then I'm not even sure how many, on the battlefields died at the hands of Nazis, but it's got to be at least 12.
I think there were some 20 million Russian losses in World War II. They definitely paid the biggest price in terms of body count, but that includes German killings as well as Stalin's killings.
Yeah, I was
and
going to
purges.
say freezing to death
And yeah, and negligence, if you will, sending two guys into the line of fire. One of them has a rifle, and the one who doesn't has instructions to pick up the rifle when the guy in front of him drops.
It's hard to get the current sort of right wing to stop getting in bed with these sort of neo-Nazi white supremacists, because, I mean, we're trying to educate them on like what happened in history in the 1940s. They don't remember like 2 weeks ago when Trump said, "I made peace with Iran." Like that disappears almost like the Etch-a-Sketch. It's like we draw what Trump shit he did this week, and then they shake it, and it's gone, and then it's like, oh, I don't remember anything. He's my guy. It's like, well, last week he said we were going to stop fighting a war that you didn't want in the first place, and this week we're back at war with that country, but you don't care
Well,
because you don't want
one of
trans everywhere, or whatever the fuck stupid slogan is stuck in your head that you think he's helping do.
I think one of the most egregious flip-flops he did this week was saying, we're going to charge 20% for passage through the Strait of Hormuz. And then, like, Iran responded by saying, well, of course, whoever is safeguarding the straits and the safe passage of ships deserves compensation. but ours is much more reasonable. We were thinking only 5%. And when you can make the Iranians look like the rational players in the room, you're pretty far off the fucking
Yes,
deep
you
end.
are. Yeah. That's like the worst part of Trump, is he makes shitty people seem sane. And he himself is insane and a shitty person. So it's like, I don't know where I was going with that. But he does make shitty people seem sane. Like, Iran should not be looked as heroes. The Iranian people are certainly a people we could be sympathetic for. They're sort of caught in the middle. I mean, any disagreement with that?
Yeah. I want to question every narrative that I have always questioned every narrative that comes my way,
Yeah.
And so just blanketly saying like Iranians are shitty people and they're insane, even at the government level, is sort of reductive.
I think
It is, and
there's
that's exactly what Trump
good people
is.
on
You
both
can't-
sides.
No, I'm not saying that there's good people on both sides, although there could be good people on both sides. I don't know. Look, it's the same kind of talk that drives me crazy, like in this country when they talk about like, I'm here to protect you from the bad guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't talk to me like I'm a fucking child. Life is nuanced.
Right. I hear you.
So when I hear like a blanket statement like Trump is making like these insane people look sane, like maybe they're not insane. Maybe they just have a different culture that we don't understand. And they do some crazy shit for sure. Yeah. But so do we.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the Iranian
maybe-
regime that's been in control since the Shah revolution has been pretty oppressive to their own people. I think that's kind of why there's a
Absolutely.
blanket statement of them being shitty. They murder.
okay. So,
women in
but
the
is that where you
streets
draw the line? Like, because we oppress people all over the world, but so we don't oppress our own people. We're better.
No, I think we started oppressing our own people. But like
But I'm saying, but prior to that, we were better just because we didn't oppress our own people.
I don't know if
we've
it's a better
oppressed-
or worse thing. I think it's a
Well,
they're
that's
bad.
But no, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that we are not like a fucking hero in the world.
right.
We've been bullying the world. We've been colonizing the world, and they like just to. Trump is just sort of this embodiment of the American id that has developed over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
We are seeing what America is writ large and personified, but
I don't disagree with that.
read the superiorism.
I don't disagree with that, but
Yeah.
I think you do have to call out like dictatorships and theocratic regimes that murder their own people. And like the fear of Trump is, yeah, he's an imbecile and he's slowly chipping away at the freedoms of our country's democracy. But we haven't gotten quite yet to like rounding people up in cattle cars and murdering them on the street. Although we're getting there now with murdering on the street.
but yeah, but that
Yeah,
but
we're making alarming progress in that direction.
right, but we
And
have
the
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I take very little comfort in the fact that we don't have the cattle cars
Right.
yet, because everything is moving towards this. It feels to me like everything is moving towards this
Yeah.
takeover with the elections in November. He's preparing ICE to be his army in the
Gestapo.
field. This is really scary shit, and this is totally not okay with me.
Yeah, I'm just
Nothing
gonna.
anyone cares.
I just want to rewind and contest Jeremy's assertion that because they're murdering their own people, that's somehow a level beyond. Like, I think murder is murder.
Yeah.
And our country murders people every fucking day.
Right.
From the skies and also personally. We have, our soldiers are on bases. Like, look out, ladies are getting testosterone now. Well, they don't need the testosterone to commit sex crimes all over the world.
Yeah.
We are not this benevolent presence in the world. And just because we're not murdering our own people, which we are and have been, but just not on these scales.
Right.
Like, this shit's been going on for 25 years at least, where we have secret black site prisons, where the government just disappears people. It's just not on a scale, and because it's done by the most powerful government in the world, it gets very easily covered up.
But is your
And I hate
is your
to sound
point
like-
that Iran can't be bad because we're bad too, or he who casts the first
My point
stone
is you
should-
can't realistically engage in any topic when you are saying like these are the crazy people and it's really bad because our guy's making them look sane. Because we are just as insane and have been just as insane. We just can see it under a spotlight now.
Yeah, I think I maybe I agree in theory, but not in practice. We might have a disagreement there because I feel like yes, America certainly has blood on their hands for decades with crazy policies and the secretive shit that's been going on in South America and the you just throw a dart on the map. However,
Right.
I feel like there have been cooler angels that have lifted this country from becoming a complete North Korea dictatorship where people are starving on the streets at the levels they are in those kinds of countries. So I feel like there is a range of evil, and that the Iranian clerics do their people no service. And if we had smart foreign policy, it would be helping the Iranian people break free and not just dropping bombs where they fall. But we don't.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
goes for North Korea, and that goes for Putin's oppressive regime of Russia, and it goes for the Trump MAGA regime here. It would be great if we could get him out of power so that cooler, saner leaders could come in. Now I understand. Like I argue with my son every day, who can't stand the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, and lists like you have the atrocities that our own government has been doing and continues to do. I think there was a story today about pollutants that are being spread outside of Elon Musk's factory in like a predominantly black neighborhood for one of his AI data centers. And there's no regulation, and that guy is certainly, helped stop anyone from regulating him while like getting his hands all over our government. So yeah, we got bad guys too, but I don't know, in my estimation, that means you can't still call out a evil regime, that exists with a record like they have. So that may be the.
I'm not saying you can't call out the evil regime with a bad record. I'm saying you got to be honest about where you're coming from. To set it up as this pure like good versus evil thing is just not the case.
Yeah.
There are reasons the Iranians hate us. There are reasons they commit the atrocities they do, and to strip the context of that, which is our bullying of the world. I'm not saying we're 100% responsible for that, but that's a huge part of the context. I get very frustrated with these like good versus evil conversations, and just like the whole like, only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. I'm like, well, who's good and who's bad? Like,
Right.
So like the guy who stopped the bad guy with a gun, he's a good guy because he stopped the bad guy, but he's just as likely to shoot somebody else by accident.
After World War II, America enjoyed a period of time in the world where it was clearly perched upon the moral high ground, and was able to support, some nation building of democracies successfully, like Japan and West Germany. But also, ventured into areas that were very unsuccessful, like Vietnam and arguably Afghanistan. So we've done what I would describe as good and bad things. But I think, just if you looked at data and whatever metrics you want to use, Iran recently killed thousands of its own people for protesting in the streets. Now, yeah, we do some fucked up things, and, Purdy and Good should have never gotten shot. But I think the scale and the malice or neglect that sets conditions for these things to happen, I don't think you can put the United States on parity with Iran.
I wouldn't put it on parity, but I'll point out to you that you're talking about Pretty and Good and not the dozens and dozens and dozens of Latinos who've been shot and murdered by ICE over the years. Not the dozens and dozens and dozens of black people who've been shot by police over. There's all this stuff that doesn't make it into the public record.
This week, actually, there's
It's a fair
There's
point.
a guy
Yeah.
that they murdered in a truck who had like a brick of salt on his dashboard that they, didn't provide their body cams to show why.
The one in Maine or the one in
I
Texas?
think the one with the salt might be Texas, but I have to double check on that. There were two like within days of each other. The one in Texas, I think, was the Latin guy who, by all accounts, was like a lovable family man, and he had a brick of salt on his dash that was not cocaine. That some
Right.
ice douchebag murdered him. I am sympathetic to that shit, and like we should know that guy's name too. I knew exactly who Pretty and Good was when Mike said it, but I can't name you this guy that was just murdered, who has three names, is Latino, and that's my own bad. So
Yeah. Neither can I, by the way.
And
just see.
well, we certainly have blind spots, and maybe we just because we live here, we buy at least partially into the idea of American exceptionalism. Maybe we are just a little bit better endowed to accomplish certain things in this world, given and maybe we have a
I
moral
don't know why you got to make it about
responsibility.
dick size, Mike.
hey, before we get too far off on a tangent, the names are Joan Sebastian Guerrero, who was a 26-year-old Colombian man shot and killed by an ICE agent in Biddeford, Maine. Is that how I'm pronouncing it? Bidford, Maine, on July 13th. Official reports indicate he was not the intended target of the operation and was fatally shot after his vehicle was stopped. And then Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, I hope I didn't ruin that, a 52-year-old Mexican man who was fatally shot by ICE at a traffic stop in Houston, Texas on July 7th, who was also not the target of the operation. Gosh, these ICE guys, they're killing people who aren't the target of their operations. And then
It's almost as if they're untrained.
or they have no operations target. It's just get the fucking
Right.
Mexicans or get the Latin people.
And we got all the fucking, and we got the Proud Boys running around out there too, with instructions to stand down and stand
Yeah.
by.
Yeah.
What are they standing by
Patriot
for?
Front was just out and about, not like 2 weeks ago, marching around DC.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a widely circulated picture of a bunch of those guys on a train with a woman
Yeah, I
of
saw
color.
that.
And that was a powerful image because it made me feel uncomfortable just looking at it.
Yeah, I didn't answer you guys about the brick of salt, which one that was. Let me just look that up. Sweet. Here it is. Substance FBI agents saw in van of man fatally shot by ICE in Houston was salt, the family attorney says. So, to put salt on the wound.
It's always safe to
literally.
Yeah.
shoot
so to
first and
speak.
ask questions later.
Yeah, I find
Um,
ICE to be despicable and Gestapo-like, and the sooner we can get Trump out of office and shift power in this country, the better. Because until we do, he's just going to keep feeding the machinery with the Bubamizer that the border is coming up this way to change election results, which is also nonsense.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Yeah.
0.0001 of proven cases where undocumented have voted in elections. It's something like ridiculous like that. Yet it's like
Yeah. It's ridiculously
it's
scarce.
pretty much
Yeah.
the number one
And
or
it's all
number
he
two
talks
issue.
about.
It's like trans and border. That's kind of the talking points.
Yeah, and I guess the reason that
Um,
I'm so quick to point out like our own country's actions and history and all that is that for me, I don't see it just like Trump, like first of all winning the midterms and then getting rid of Trump. These are two things that have to happen, but that doesn't just reset us back to normal. And even then, normal is not acceptable to me. Like our country's normal is not acceptable to me. And this is where I'm getting frustrated with Democrats is like people are increasingly voting for these more left and progressive candidates. And the Democrats are
Yeah.
like, the people who send
Yeah.
fucking strongly worded letters to Trump when he's like putting people in cages are also like, we're going to fucking take down these socialists. Like we're going to like these. And to me, that's been pissing me off because whereas like Republicans run around telling you like, oh, don't believe what your eyes tell you. You don't know what you see. Democrats are running around saying, you don't know what you want. Like, we'll take care of that. Just make sure we're still here. That's driving me nuts too. I'm very negative on our country these days.
Yeah, I'm hearing
Yeah,
same sentiments from my son Samson, who shares your disappointment in America and its, two-party system, and is a James Tallarico fan, I think. In addition to having been a Bernie bro, but he's sort of fed
yeah.
up with the two major parties, and will tell you very loudly and articulately how they're failing the country both, and that the middle is not the solution, which has been my contention. So
Yeah.
I hear it. I'm hearing it from you and Samson. You and Samson should go get a fucking veggie burrito somewhere and just talk through it.
Oh,
Start a
I'd like
party.
to eat meat. I could still eat meat.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
I'm
obnoxious.
I too, Dave, am disturbed by what seems to be the rise in democratic socialism, because I understand, conditions may be such that, you want to do the opposite of whatever's going on right now, get as far away on the spectrum from it as you can. But I don't think there are a lot of good solutions that lie there. And I guess
What don't you
I'm
like
more like
about it?
Jeremy about democratic socialism.
Yeah.
Um, well, I mean, part of it seems unrealistic in a lot of its objectives to me, at least how what I'm aware of. It seems they want to give a lot of things to a lot of people without really having a solid plan for how to pay for that. And it's not that Republicans don't do that; they do that. But I don't know. It seems very easy to brand them as socialists and communists, and I think it's going to be harder to attract middle America and the kind of people that we need to vote to, make change in this country.
Right.
I think it's going to drive away the middle.
What if I told
from
you
the
that
Democratic Party?
What if I told you that Democratic Socialists do have ideas about how to pay for it, and they're pretty reasonable? Would that?
Then I am open to hearing more.
Okay.
And I am, not totally tuned out, but I'm not really a fan of Mamdani, who seems to be the most high profile.
It's Mamdani.
Democratic Mamdani.
Yeah.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Mamdani. You pronounce it like Bill Maher pronounces it.
Oh. Mamdani.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not a huge fan of his, and he seems to be the most high profile democratic socialist.
Why not? What has he done that you don't like?
I mean, I don't know if I could really itemize a bunch of stuff, but I'm some of it's just gut stuff, and I'll admit it. Like his wife seems to have some kind of affinity for Hamas, and that's a real turnoff. I think he's supportive of Islamic immigrants, to the point of maybe being less concerned about other groups, and other minorities. So that's my take on it, and I'm not a perfect person, so I may be getting some of this wrong, and I always like to think I'm open to input and critical feedback, especially from my bros here. So
Well, I don't know shit about his wife, so maybe she said stuff, maybe she hasn't. I don't know, but I don't know. Are you saying preferential treatment to Islamic immigrants?
Yeah, and like I mean I think the Jewish community in New York is big and substantial, and I don't think he particularly cares about the Jews.
Based on what?
And
though?
I do.
I feel like I have
Like I
more insight
no,
into that side of Namdani
Yeah.
that I could add to the conversation. Well, first off, his wife said some deplorable shit in the kind of, the aftermath of October 7th attack. The stuff that you would hear someone saying, like, ugh, why are you saying that? Now, that's not Mamdani, that's his wife. However, he himself seems to have looked at the Israel thing in a specific lens that takes you back to 1948 and says, hey, they stole the land, they need to give the country back. That kind of mentality. And for me, it's like, 1948 is a pretty fucking long time ago, and we're living here in a country that took land and didn't give it back. It's time to be like, hey, a country grew.
I mean, Israel's also a long way from New York City. He has no jurisdiction over what happened.
Yeah, he doesn't, but there is a New York to Israel pipeline of investment, and like one of the first things he was talking about doing was shutting down a branch of one of the Ivies that's in Staten Island that has like a program of knowledge share with Israel. So there was like a few early fires across the bow. Now I don't care if he hates Israel or not, because that's his prerogative. But if you hate Israel, then you hate America, because you're mad at Israel for the policies of its government. The people of Israel are a diverse group with differing opinions, in the same way that you and I and Michael here have differing opinions. So when Trump does something shitty like sixes ICE people on Latin people around the country, are we the Gestapo? We're Americans. It's the same thing with Israel.
I disagree with that view. I mean, you can only view a country from outside that country as their actions and impact on the world and on their neighbors around them. Just because you and I are not rounding people up immigrants up and sticking them in cages, doesn't mean that make it okay. Like it doesn't make it okay that our country is doing that. America is bad for doing that. Israel is bad for a lot of the things he does. I just every day I'm reading in the news about Israel, and Israel fucking sucks the same way that America fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's a big, greedy, it's run by right-wing assholes who are theocratic ideologues.
So is it Israel that sucks, or the right-wing government of Israel that sucks?
The right-wing government that runs Israel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so that's Israel.
I don't agree with that.
No, it is though, because that's what they are unleashing upon the world. America.
It is the state. That is the state.
The state of America fucking sucks. Trump represents us, whether you support him or not. He is out in the world doing shit that we are represented by. And so America fucking sucks. And everybody in the world has a right to say that, and is right to say that.
Right. I guess I don't disagree with the right to say that Israel sucks or America sucks. The question is, should Israel be disbanded, and the people, Israel should not be a country anymore? Because that's the rhetoric that's sort of like alarming.
Yeah, and that's a completely sidestep that has nothing to do with the mayor of New York. And that's the when people are,
that's the thing that's got him into trouble. It's that river to the sea shit, which is that. It's like, not only do I disagree with Israel and think they suck right now, but they should be no longer a country, and that the border should change to erase Israel. That's the problem with him that people have in New York.
There was this recent kerfuffle in New York City where the mayor's office put out this map of ethnic immigrant neighborhoods. Did you guys hear about this in the news?
No.
And they had like little Pakistan, little Palestine, and they overlooked on this map little Italy. And when this came to light, it became a political football where, Italian Americans were like, hey, come on, you can't be doing this to us.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mom Donnie? And I don't even take issue with that, but I find his wife's rhetoric chilling and disturbing. And, so far I'm, left with more questions about where his loyalties lie than confidence that he's a good leader for New York City.
So my son has pointed out to me the good things he's done for New York City, which is...
Yeah, he's done quite a few good things. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's hard to be a full-on Mamdani hater in the first, 5 months of his term, because he's actually reduced, I think, crime and lowered taxes, and he's giving teachers' assistants $10,000 raises, and he's enacting a lot of the progressive policies that you might agree with, being a liberal guy.
And he got Kathy Hochul, or Hochul, however you say her fucking name, the governor, to work with him on, free daycare?
Yeah.
They've got like a plan.
Yes.
To pay for it.
Right. Yeah. I'd say verdict is still out on how he's doing as a mayor, because everyone has like a good run in the first few months when they come out swinging.
He's only been there for 6 months,
Yeah.
but all the negative stuff about him is stuff that his wife said or stuff that he said like 5 years ago or even a year ago.
Yeah.
But to counter that to the stuff he's done and said as mayor, it's been good so far.
Right.
And he doesn't get judged on that.
Yeah, he does not. I agree with that. I was worried about Mamdani based on the things he has said. Now he's the mayor, so now I have to wait and see how he does as mayor. I'm not going to fall victim to the rhetoric. I'm going to wait and see the actions of what he does. But there is like a problem in my estimation with the very far left in terms of their views of Israel and what we were just talking about, in whether or not it's a country that should exist or not, and that anyone who believes in its existence is somehow a Nazi. I feel like that is a little bit out of hand right now.
That is out of hand.
As bad as the far right and their proclivity to some of these white supremacist replacement theory Nazis. It is why I feel like solace in the middle of the spectrum, because I feel like the wings of the party have the loudest voices and have the most divisive and ignorant perspective on things. So that's kind of where I feel, especially with the Israel thing.
Well, we're definitely not going to solve it.
What? We got some time.
Not today, anyway.
I don't think we could solve anything. Like Taco Bell's lettuce. What am I going to do about that? We can't solve that.
We cannot eat there for a couple of weeks, which is challenging
I hope
enough.
my long diarrhea does not sustain for months. I remember that long COVID lasted for like a year for some people.
I think just the leaders of the Jewish, Muslim, and Christian communities should all get together and point their fingers at Scientology together.
Right, the true evil in this world.
Yeah.
Although
snake handling Methodists.
Don't you love the Scientology "We Are the World" video though so much that it gives them a pass?
Which one is that?
Oh my God! Now I have to play it for us. Wait, hold on a second.
Is it a new one?
No. It's like David, whatever his name is, Miscavi.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cringy that it's delicious. 1 second. This is something that has to be seen. Where is it? Scientology, music, video, music, singers. What, did they bury this fucking thing? This used to be like a Google result in the first. All right, give me a second. I gotta find it. Music video.
All right.
Two American servicemen were killed at a base in Jordan in the last 24 hours, with a third missing. This just in.
There's been some casualties, right?
Yeah. And if this turns into the Vietnam War was known as the war on television, and sometimes because it was the first war where there were daily updates on the news about the body count, how many VC killed, how many Americans killed. And if we keep seeing, body bags coming home and seeing a few people die every
week. They'll hide them.
Yeah, they've been hiding.
Oh, I know they'll try to hide it.
Hey, before we get too far away from it, this is we stand tall.
Okay.
You guys haven't seen this?
No.
That's crazy.
Words from a book showed me the way to be free of the shadows of yesterday. But the price of that freedom we all must pay from now on. Ooh, joining together we held our ground. We lifted our voices, one mighty sound, and struck down the walls of darkness. We stood tall.
This is like a camp song at the end of the year,
Yes. Just
Everybody
wait.
puts their arms around each other.
Just wait. The best part is coming right up.
We stand tall.
What's the religious freedom crusade?
To be Scientologists? To be audited at the Hubbard Dianetics?
420. 420.
I love the soft porn look of this video.
Yeah.
Look at that lady. The best part, though, has yet to come. I thought it was sooner in the video, but you'll see it. It's like the We Are the World shit. That guy's a Scientologist, maybe?
Yeah, I was just wondering,
Better
are,
be.
are these people actually Scientologists? They just, oh, he is.
John Travolta.
Johnny T. Who's acting stupid here? Is that a talus? Oh, look at that sweater.
This is the best part.
Yeah.
That's David Miscavige. That's pretty incredible, no?
Who's the guy with the skipper's hat? Is that
yeah,
L.
he's
Ron
dead.
Hubbard?
Hey la di da, the hook on this.
Yeah, it's he's the shortest guy in the video.
That's why he likes Tom Cruise. Another
Yeah.
shrimp.
David Miscavige stands short. Oh man, that sweater again.
Yeah.
Killing me, bro.
Here's L. Ron.
He essentially played Pictionary and convinced all these people to join this religion. Have you had enough?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
All right, I just wanted to point out.
I got the point that they are standing tall.
Yes, they are standing very tall. The note
So that's like their anthem.
it was in
Is
the
that the Scientology
in the
anthem?
80s. But if you look on the internet, you'll see that a lot of the guys standing around David Miscavige, who's this dude here, have left the religion and have been considered oppressive people. I think they call them OPs when you leave that religion. So there's there's a lot of schematics online if you're interested that show you like almost like 80% of the people left after his wife disappeared and all that shit.